Respected Principal Sir, Mr. K. Nagaraju Sir, Vice Principal Ma'am, Mrs. Aarti Korwar Ma'am, and our School Training and Noodle Coordinator, Mr. Dinesh Chakraborty Sir, and all the dignified teachers, I welcome you all in this in-house training. It is a moment of extreme pleasure to welcome all of you in today's training. On behalf of the institution, I offer my regards to all the educators for joining us today. I convey my regards to the extremely talented, energetic, enthusiastic Mrs. Ranu Karmakar ma'am as our resource person for today's in-house training program. I welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Also, I want to, before we continue with the training, I want to let out the profile of our resource person, who is Mrs. Ranu Karmakar ma'am. She has been teaching in this school since 2019. She has done Bachelor of Science in Computer Application from Kolhan University. She has done her DS from Sri Rawatpura Sarkar College, Naya Raipur, Chhattisgarh, from Pandit Ravi Shankar Shukla University. She has also qualified C-Tech class 1 to 5 level. She has commendable more than 7 years of teaching experience. Ma'am has vast experience in co-curricular activities and examination related work. She has also shouldered the responsibility of class teacher, and it gives me an immense pleasure to add on the achievement of our resource person, as she was awarded with Rajya Puraskar in Scouts and Guides. I welcome you, ma'am, once again, and welcome all the participants and all the members in this in-house training wholeheartedly. The topic of our today's session, on which Ranu ma'am will be giving her thoughts and ideas, that is environmental education in practice. Surely, ma'am, we will going to take away the importance of your messages, your thoughts, your ideas with us today through this in-house training. I welcome one and all present in this session, in this program once again. Thank you so much. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Sona ma'am. So, I'm going to start. Here present, respected Principal Sir, Mr. K. Nagaraju Sir, Vice Principal Ma'am, Mrs. Aarti Korwar Ma'am, Mr. Dinesh Kumar Chakraborty Sir, our schools, SP, MC, and all the dignified teachers. I would like to wish you all a good evening. I am very much thankful to have this opportunity to present the session before you all. Myself, Ranu Karmakar, and my today's in-house training topic is environmental education in practice. So, we are fortunate that nature has provided us with enough natural resources. We have fresh air to breathe, clean water to drink, and other purposes also. We have fertile land to grow crops. But unfortunately, out of our greed, or it may be our ignorance, we have depleted the resources. We have polluted the air, We have polluted the water and we have turned the fertile land into a barren one. It is posing a great threat to the whole of the humanity on this planet. It is high time that we should be aware, and environmental education is needed to open our eyes, to make everyone aware, to learn that we must protect our environment, and this is environmental education only. Through this process, we can make everyone aware how to protect our land, air, and water. Because if we protect our environment today, it will be better for whole of the humanity. So let us discuss our today's topic. First is, what is an environment? What is environmental education? Needs of environmental education, objectives of environmental education, goals of environmental education, major environmental issues. Environmental awareness is essential for providing environmental education at different levels of education. Importance of environmental education, guiding principles of environmental education, role of teachers in environmental education or environmental education in practice, and the last is the conclusion. So first question it arises, what is an environment? First, this question we all must have, but must know. The term environment has been derived from a French word environner, means to surround. It refers to both biotic, that is non-living or physical components, and abiotic non-living or physical components, and biotic, that is living and biological components. The word environment means surroundings in which organisms live. So here it comes, what is environmental education? There are two terms in this, environment and education. So here first term is of environment, that we all know this, the sum total of all living and non-living factors that surround and influence the survival and development of an organism. And second one is this part, education. Education is the system of imparting knowledge and information. According to IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature, it says environmental education is the process of recognizing values and clarifying concepts in order to develop skills and attitudes necessary to understand and appreciate the interrelatedness among man, his culture, and his biophysical surroundings. Environmental education also entails practices in decision making and self-formulating of a code of behavior about issues concerning environmental quality. And according to UNESCO, it says environmental education is a learning process increases people's knowledge and awareness about the environment and associated challenges, develops the necessary skills and expertise to address the challenges, and fosters attitudes, motivations, and commitments to make informed decisions and take responsible actions. What is the need of environmental education? So we all know man as a part and parcel of the environment has to recognize the role and importance of environment in order to protect and to get protection from it. For this, he needs environmental education. We have everything to fulfill our needs, but it is a great danger for whole of the humanity that the natural resources are being depleting. If these natural resources are being depleted, then we can imagine what can happen in the future. So we have to protect our earth, we have to protect our planet. For this, environmental education can play a vital role to make everyone aware, to make realize that we should protect our planet. So for this, we have to know what are the objectives of environmental education. These all are the objectives of environmental education. First is awareness. What is of awareness? Awareness about environment and its problems. Second one is knowledge. Basic knowledge about the environment. Everyone should have this basic knowledge about the environment. Attitude. A sense of responsibility towards the environment. Skills. Skills to solve environmental problems. Number 5, participation. Everyone should participate in programs related to environment. So these all are the objectives of environmental education that we all should follow. Next is, what should be the goals of environmental education? To create awareness among the students about the environment and its problems. To enable the students to understand this environment and its interrelationship with man. We should make them aware. We should tell all the students about our planet and its importance. To enable the students to acquire basic knowledge about the environment. To identify the social values which are in harmony with the environmental quality. To create positive attitude among the students towards environment. To develop skills among the students for evaluating environmental measures and educational programs. To create a sense of responsibility towards the environment. So these all are the goals of environmental education. Next, it comes, what are the major environmental issues that occur? These all are climate change, environment degradation, intensive farming, land degradation, nuclear issues, overpopulation, ozone depletion, pollution, resource depletion. So, Environmental issues are defined as harmful effects to Earth and its natural systems due to the actions of humans. Although climate change can occur from natural cause, human behavior has led to an increase in greenhouse emissions. Climate change affects everyone. It contributes to even broader problems like rising sea levels and loss of biodiversity in our food system. Like due to overpopulation, what happens? We are facing a shortage of resources such as food, water and fuel to sustain the rising global population, particularly in developing countries. Next, due to intensive farming, intensive agriculture attempting to lessen the problem actually leads to more damage through the use of chemical fertilizers, pesticides and insecticides. Ozone layer depletion, how it occurs? Pollution caused by chlorofluorocarbon in the air creates a hole in the ozone layer which protects, and we all know that this ozone layer protects our earth from harmful ultraviolet radiation. So these all are land degradation, environmental degradation, climate change. These all are major environmental issues that we all should keep in mind. Next, environmental awareness is essential for what? Why we all should aware about this environment? We should aware this for the protection of the atmosphere, for the protection of land resources, conservation of biological diversity, environmentally sound management of biotechnology and hazardous waste, prevention of illegal traffic in toxic products and wastes, improvement in living and working conditions of the poor by eradicating poverty and stopping environmental degradation. So we should provide environmental education at different levels of education. Like in primary education, we have to give them the knowledge of environment, awareness of environment should be there. In secondary education, relevance objective is relevance for real life situation of environment. To make them understand, understanding should be there. In higher secondary education, conservation of natural resources of environment, that is skills. College and university education, that is sustainable development by solving problems of environment, that is attitude and evaluation. So here it comes importance of environmental education. Why this environmental education is so important. Environmental education is very important for the child and adult for self-fulfillment and social development. It helps in maintenance of life and helps in self-preservation of human race. It helps to understand different food chains and the ecological balance in nature. It helps to understand and appreciate how the environment is used for making a living and for promoting a material culture. Environmental education helps in appreciating and enjoying nature and society. It stimulates concern for changing environment in a systematic manner for the long run as well as the immediate welfare of mankind. It directs attention towards the problems of population explosion, exhaustion of natural resources and pollution of the environment and sheds light on methods of solving them. Here it is guiding principle of environmental education. According to UNESCO, the guiding principles of environmental education should be as follows. First point is environmental education should be continuous and compulsory. It should have an interdisciplinary approach by including physical, chemical, biological as well as socio-cultural aspects of the environment. Environmental education should promote the value and necessity of examining the major environmental issues from the local and national point of view. Next point is environmental education should emphasize the importance of sustainable development, that is economic development without degrading the environment. Environmental education should enable learners to include environmental impact analysis in proposed developmental projects in order to minimize environmental damages. Environmental education should help the learner to discover the symptoms of and real cause of environmental problems. Environmental education should emphasize the necessity of seeking international cooperation in environmental prevention and control of environmental problems. So, we all teachers have the role in environmental education, and these all points are for that only. Role of teachers in environmental education or environmental education in practice. We all should not only to discuss this environmental education with the students and all, but we should all have to take it in practice to protect our environment. So here some points are given. To arouse the children's interest in the environment and to raise challenging problems. To discuss the approach to problems or topics. To arrange visits. We all have to bring them to nearby places to aware of of the environment, aware with the environment, to provide materials needed for practical work, to arrange for visiting speakers, to initiate and develop discussion.
Ranu ma'am, any technical issue?
Some of these are like pollution, overpopulation, waste disposal, climate change, global warming, and the greenhouse effect, etc. The big reason that a serious threat to our environment is the harmful gases in the air. The uncontrolled use of automobiles has increased their effects, which in turn emits harmful gases like carbon monoxide and all. The electronic appliances also, uh, like air conditioners and refrigerators also containing air by the discharge of harmful substances. The diverse effect of these gases is causing air pollution as well as global warming. So, how we solve these problems? Solution of the problems of our environment is like due to all human activities, our planet has reached unsustainable level. Therefore, it is our duty and responsibility to lower the loss. Every individual can play a significant role in this solution. Like, for example, if we should take a pledge to say no to plastic, instead of it, we may make use of eco-friendly substitutes like paper and cloth bags. The government of every country must implement strict laws for industries. Those are releasing the toxic waste for proper waste management. The awareness programs should be organized to encourage citizens to use public transport as much as possible. So here by this we all teachers play an important role to protect our environment by keeping aware of the student. So one anonymous thought about the need to educate the people about the environmental education, that if you plan for a year, plant rice. If you plan for the years, plant trees. But if you plan for a century, educate the people. And by educating the people only about the environment, we all will protect our world, our universe, our earth. And Mahatma Gandhi also said, earth provides enough to satisfy every man's need, but not every man's greed. And this is our greed only that is destroying, that is depleting our earth. So I may conclude the discussion that we discuss the if we discuss the theoretically, it is not enough. It is the duty for all of us to give a practical shape, because this is the high time that we must learn how to protect the environment. So come, let us do a bit to create a clean environment, because this is the best thing we can do and we can leave behind for our future generation. If we destroy, if we use the whole thing now, so what our future generation will get? Nothing. So we all must have to protect it for our future generation. So this is all about the environmental education, and this should be everywhere for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your such a nice presentation. Actually, even in our school also, when we used to earlier when we used to do the science exhibition and any other events, the use of thermocols were very common in those years.
Yes,
But
sir.
later on, we have also implemented that there should not be any use of thermocols, and eco-friendly things are to be used, and the children are also guided by the teachers in such a way that they will have that sense of responsibility, that what is good and what is bad for the environment.
Yes, sir.
Moreover, now it is the month of January, we see many people, they used to arrange some New Year parties and all. Here also we can see many things which are harming our environment. So being a teacher, it is a primary responsibility that whenever we see any of us, maybe the student, maybe any neighbors, we should tell them regarding the do's and don'ts of all these things so that we can save our environment as much as we can. It should not be that mera kya hai, because ultimately the earth is,
They are not knowing that this is harming to all of us.
yes, ultimately the result will be affected to all of us. So that's why, keeping in mind that this is all for us only, we have to impart our valuable knowledge wherever we can, and mostly to the children because they are the next generation. We have to teach them the good things so that they can apply those things, and in near future we can do as much better for the environment as we can. So thank you for choosing such a nice topic, the current topic, and also very well presented. So Suna ma'am, you continue with the other things.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us wonderful thoughts and ideas on the topic of environmental education in practice. Surely, ma'am, will look upon this. And being a teacher, as we all know, teacher being the agent of social change, play an active role in shaping the behavior of children to promote desire for environmental awareness. We should encourage, we should make them understand that how environmental education is so much important in each and everyone's life, so that to live sustainable, eco-friendly lives. Thank you so much, ma'am, once again for your wonderful session. Now, I would like to welcome Mrs. Nishat, ma'am, to give the summary of today's training. This is Nishat, ma'am.
This step was on test by Milo Kandam or
Nishat ma'am, you're not audible properly.
Oh, I'm not.
Audio is breaking.
Network issues,
Now,
ma'am,
sir.
is there?
Now, sir. Now,
It is better now.
Okay. Ma'am, Ranu ma'am has highlighted various things. She has given a clear view on needs of environmental education, objectives of environmental education, goals of environmental education, major environmental issues also highlighted by her very nicely, environmental awareness, environmental education at different levels of education, importance of environmental education, role of environmental education in our role of teacher in environmental education, learning about nature and connectivity with nature.
Nishat, ma'am. Nishat, ma'am, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Some problem. I think some technical problem or network issue is there. That's why.
No, ma'am, you're okay, ma'am. Now you can continue, ma'am. You're okay.
Okay. So I was telling that ma'am has highlighted very nicely, learning about nature and connecting with nature supports happiness and provides more purposeful, fulfilling, and meaningful lives. She has also highlighted the benefits of environmental education. Environmental education, it improves academic achievements, it encourages environmental stewardship, it deepens personal development and well-being, It strengthens communities also. Environmental education gives positive impacts on students, environmental attitudes, beliefs, and knowledge. Role of teacher in environmental education, it is also very nicely she has highlighted. Teacher should be a friend, guide, philosopher, and teacher should create feeling of togetherness and positive attitude towards environment. Teacher should plan the environmental activities correlated with the customs and tradition of the society. Teacher should channelize the energy of the students to create an atmosphere free of pollution. Lastly, I would like to say that we teachers should make it very clear to every child that he or she is part of the environment, and if he or she protect the environment, if he or she will protect the environment will protect him or her. Otherwise, everyone has to face the repercussions. No doubt, this session is very nicely presented by her. And at last, I would like to say that this session will help us to show the seeds of environmental awareness in the hearts of our students. And through our active role, we will enhance the creativity among them. That's all from my side. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving the takeaways of today's session so nicely. Now I would like to welcome Mrs. Ashidami ma'am for vote of thanks, for conveying vote of thanks.
Thank you, Karmakar. Good morning, all present. Myself, Ashidami, would like to extend heartfelt thanks to the resource person, Mrs. Ranu ma'am, to highlight on the topic environmental education impact. It was really very informative. I would like to send my thanks to all persons also for this session successful. Last but not the least, we would like to thank our principal sir, Mr. K. Nagaraju sir, vice principal ma'am, Mr. R.T. Indor ma'am, training nodal coordinator sir, Mr. Dinesh Chakrabarti sir, for organizing such a valuable in our training session. Thank you very much, all of you. Over to you, Suna ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So, we have come to the end part of this session. I thank each and everyone for making this training a great success. And also, I would like to give